Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about some of the aspects, the traits, the variations of how avoidants behave when they love you. So, what they do when they love you, what they say in their actions, you can see that as well, okay? And so, the very first one, these are very specific, so you guys might not touch all of them, but you will eventually as the relationship goes through. This is a very specific video, okay? It's not a very overarching video at all. It's very specific, okay? The first one is after they do something that could be perceived as selfish or harsh, they take it back or they try to compromise. Basically, they feel bad that they said that or did that, okay? So let's say they said, "Stop putting your head on me when we're cuddling. It puts pressure on my chest." And you kind of are taken back, but you're like, okay, I'll move my head somewhere else. Maybe you didn't say that, but you just like readjusted and they realize, oh, I shouldn't have said it like that. That was not right. And then they might say something like, "I don't mind you having your head on me. Maybe just keep it close to my shoulder instead of my chest. I promise I don't mind cuddling." So they're like, oh, maybe he or she thinks I don't like cuddling. I shouldn't have said it like that. Because they tend to say things very blunt and they hear it out loud. They see your reaction. They're like, oh my God, like, doesn't mean I don't want you to cuddle. Let me take it back. And a lot of them are very prideful. So they're not going to say, "I'm sorry it came out so harsh." They're not going to say it like that. They just say, "I don't mind you having your head on me. Please, please remember, please know, I don't mind cuddling." They don't like to admit, oh, that was on me. I could have said it a lot nicer. Often if they start opening up, they might be more willing to say that, but often they kind of stay prideful for, at least the beginning or even the first decade or so of the relationship. I know that's a lot. Doesn't mean that all of them are like that, but I've seen it happen. But that doesn't mean they don't want to change. That doesn't mean they don't want to reassure you. And they might even say, "Well, I didn't mean it like that. I hope you didn't take it wrong," right? They might start trying to back up a little bit, try and fix that so that you don't leave them or withhold affection. Not that you're doing it on purpose, but maybe you think it'll make them happy if you stop cuddling. So you might take it like that. And they don't want that to happen because they like you. They love you, right? The next one is they're more flexible with money regarding you. Now, avoidant individuals, you guys know this. This is very common in a lot of videos I bring up, right? Avoidant individuals have an interesting relationship with money. And this isn't more detail in my book, but I'm also going to make videos in general about this. And by the way, my book isn't published yet. So when it is, I'll let y'all know. But they're more comfortable spending financially on you. And they're also more comfortable asking you things. Keep in mind, balance. You don't want it one way or the other. Because they are now feeling the integration. They feel like you're not going to take from them. You're not going to steal from them. You're not going to judge them. Sometimes it's a judgment thing. But I see this a lot where they're actually more flexible about money in general, and not just their money, but also their assets as well. And you can see this avoidance. They're very protective of money because they feel like it's their autonomy, their freedom. And if you take it away, they lose their freedom. They lose their hard work, something they really cherish and love. And so I've seen this where couples in my session, sometimes nowadays it's getting more common where people who are in relationships who are not married are seeking couples therapy, which I think is a really good thing because we can help them before they get married. And so is this a good thing? Kind of, yeah, I want to help people as much as possible, but I'm seeing more and more stages of different relationships, which is really adding to my knowledge. Of course, I used to be dismissive avoidant as well. My partners also used to be avoidant. So I already know the stages, but it's very nice to see it from so many different couples. I love seeing that. And so they're very protective. And in the beginning stages, they might not be so comfortable sharing, but some couples will come in, maybe they're, in a relationship together, as I was saying, not married yet. So they don't know each other's financial profile. And then maybe the dismissive avoidant might say, yeah, I'm, my X account or this account is, reaching up to 1 million. Let's say that's what it is. Or, I've become a millionaire. And he brings that up with his partner in session. And she's like, oh, I never knew anything about his finances. Like he's never mentioned that once. And she might even bring up like, I appreciate you sharing, but I want you to know I'll never try and take advantage. He's like, I know, that's why I told you. Right. And so he's admitting, I know you're never going to hurt me. And I'm okay with you knowing this. I told you for a reason. Right? So he's so much more comfortable. You can immediately see that that's an example. Okay. The next one is they remember details about you, such as small habits you have or you don't often share. Maybe you like you like eating out of certain plates. I've seen this fearful avoidance. They're very specific, not all fearful avoidance, but I've had some patients where they like smaller plates or they only want plates with designs. Sometimes it's because they have other issues in their life, fearful avoidance, especially a lot of trauma. So they might be more specific about certain things because maybe some other type of thing might give them a flashback. A lot of fearful avoidance have PTSD, and I'll make a video or a short on that at one point. But so maybe you have like small habits for whatever reason, and they remember all those things, even though you've never said it, right? You've never specifically said out loud, but they remember that about you because they love you, right? The next one is their outlook. Their outlook of commitment and relationships have turned into a more positive one. They talk about marriage in a positive way. They are okay listening that with you. Maybe you guys have conversations literally about marriage in general, not even between you guys, and they mention it's a positive thing. They might say, you know, my boss is very protective over his wife, as a man should be. Maybe that's what your partner said. When before, maybe he would always imply that, I don't know, getting married is a burden. But now he's saying like, oh, my boss is a good man because he protects his wife. He always defends her. He would never say anything wrong about her. And so you can immediately see that he believes that marriage is now a positive thing. Maybe you might say, you know, hey, I read this, study that men who are in marriages are more happier overall, or they're more healthy overall compared to men who are single or even divorced. What do you think? And they might say, yeah, I can believe that, of course. They might even add, even being with somebody who you're trusting and committed to really feels great, and I can really understand that. And so their perspective of commitment is just so much more positive. They believe that commitment is now a good thing, or it's better than they used to think, which is a very big sign in general. They're probably going to commit to you. They really do love you. And I want you guys to know that if this is happening, I know you guys, a lot of you guys on my comments, you say, oh, my partner does do some of those things, but you still don't let yourself really accept that they love you. I want you guys to really try to do this because these are real. I see these things a lot. These are based on things that I'm seeing. I'm telling you that it's very likely your partner does love you. And if you want that relationship, you're already in one that is pretty good. And the very last one is they take more initiative in general, just a little bit. Maybe they contact you more often. They're planning dates. They're asking you how you feel. They're more open to hearing your side. They're initiating more. They're texting you more. Even if they're having a really rough day at work, they're more open to you. They're telling you more. When avoidants do this, it's because you're in their world. They do really love you. They care about you, right? So let's go ahead and summarize this and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, the first one is that when they do something that they feel could be perceived as harsh or selfish, they take it back or they try to compromise because they don't want to hurt you, right? The next one is they're more flexible with money around you. Their rigid perspectives as money is becoming more flexible, more softer around you, right? The next one is that they remember details about you, small habits you have that maybe you've never even told them. And it's just something you didn't even realize about yourself, but it's still something that they do. And the next one is their outlook on commitment and relationships are actually more positive. It's changed, right? And the very last one is they take a little bit more initiative. General things, contacting you, planning dates, asking you how you feel. And you're starting to see this. Your partner loves you, okay? Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.